Time to fix my vcube 8. Now get the other pieces in the corner over here. Ugh. Evening. I'm trying to play something through the TV. I guess this one's good.
Today on
Oh, stupid advertisement. What? This is the first time I've actually taken my vcube 8 apart completely.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was released for the Sega Genesis in North America. Backed by great marketing, incredible hype, and just being a really good game, it became
It's I found out that it's literally just the core is just a vcube 2.
It added Tails, Super Sonic, and the 7 Chaos Emeralds. It features one of the best zone lineups of any game in the series. It has a wonderful soundtrack among so much more.
Alright, well, I guess let's start with the big sensors first.
Making it one of Sonic's most popular and best-selling titles in the series. And so, today we'll be taking a look at the main release of
Big centers that stick out. It's so hard to find pieces in this mess of pieces.
Following the success of Sonic 1, Sega needed a sequel and fast. Somehow, they figured out to create a noteworthy follow-up in little over a year.
Video that explains this is out now. Extend everything out will work.
To access the game's debug mode, you go to the sound test and play the sounds 1992-1124.
This doesn't seem right.
Because the day the game was released in North America and Europe, but over in Asian territories like Japan and Korea, it came out a few days earlier on the 21st.
Bruh.
So it doesn't make for a good pun. The Korean version was released by Samsung, making it one of the more unique original releases of the game. Sonic 2 was a very big deal at the time, as it was long planned to be the day the game would launch globally. Nowadays, it's common for a game to be released everywhere on the same day. But back in 1992, that was almost unheard of and signified how big of a deal this
I don't know if this is the right centerpiece. I can't tell.
Which only makes for great collectibles nowadays. And so, the first release of the game was of course the Genesis and Mega Drive release. Well, actually, technically not. The first version of Sonic 2 that was released was actually the 8-bit version. The Master System version first came out in Europe on October 16th, 1992, and the Game Gear version came out over there on October 29th. The rest of the world would get
Yeah, it's supposed to go here.
In North America, this version was released before the 16-bit version. However, this video is focusing on the 16-bit version of the game, so let's move on. Along with its original release and its many international releases, the game would see several re-releases on the Genesis itself.
Sonic 2 handles stubborn stains, embarrassing bald spots, even slices and dices makes thousands of julienne pies.
I'm trying random sensors first to see how they look.
Not just Sonic 1, but Sonic 2 as well. Following its release, the game was included in a few system bundles, and copies of the game that came in these bundles were produced with cases and labels that stated not for resale, as they weren't intended for retail release. However, it seems like this is definitely the most common cartridge of the game. Along with Sonic 1 and Dr. Robotnik's new game, Sonic 2 was included in Sonic Compilation.
I don't know.
Released in Europe in July of 1995. It was later released in North America in 1997 as Sonic Classic. Okay, consider this one its own releases of
I guess I'm gonna have to sort out everything first.
October 18th, 1994, and brought with it Lock-On Technology. This was mainly implemented for the PlayStation Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles as one game as was originally Insane as that. This was
Everything
surely
to the
one of
side.
feature for its time. Not didn't even exist when Sonic 2 was
Not
being
you.
developed, but now you could officially play as him in the game. This feature was also planned for Sonic 1, but unfortunately, the Japanese color palette didn't play too nicely with Knuckles, so Knuckles in Sonic 1 never came to be on the Genesis, outside of fan work. Now, before we move away from the Genesis, there's one more variant of the game that needs to be mentioned. As a thank you to those who helped with the marketing plans behind Sonic Tuesday, Sega of America sent out these beautiful gold-colored cartridges to those who helped make it happen. For example, this one was given to you as
I'm gonna have to do one corner section since I'm gonna have to lean over. Although I can't.
Presented to Al Nielsen for your excellent marketing program for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the world's best-selling video game of 1992. This was very much deserved. Without the work of him and the rest of the marketing team, Sonic 2's launch wouldn't have been nearly as memorable or successful. Without a doubt, these golden Sonic 2
Wait,
parts
hold on.
included
Are these
the
two the
game, as they
same?
technically weren't really released. They're essentially trophy pieces that were internally
Kind
given to the
of.
team for their unforgettable work. We don't know how many of these were made, and most of them haven't even been documented, but they are oh so cool.
When you shop Kroger brand
I guess they count. Oh, the stupid advertising. Not a Super Mario Bros. Wonder ad.
The game's first non-Genesis release came in 1993 as part of Sega's Megatech and Megaplay line of arcade boards. That's right, Sonic 2 saw an arcade release. The Megatech release features a timer that is constantly counting down, and whenever that timer reaches 0, you need to insert more credits to bump it up by 3 minutes. On the Megaplay version, there isn't a timer at all, but to make the game harder, all extra light monitors were replaced by rings, and the special stages have been removed as well. In these versions, there's also no way to play the game as anything but Sonic and Tails together. They're not super interesting, but given their additional difficulty, both of these make for a great way to play through the game with new challenges. The first home console re-release of Sonic 2 was fittingly on Sega's next console, the Sega Saturn, as part of Sonic Jam. Sonic 2
There's
is
two
essentially
types
the same as Sonic
of
1.
each
There
scented
weren't any substantial
thingy.
additions to the game itself. It was just a great way to play through the game on Sega's next console, and it did have some extra modes. Today, though,
Left
I'd
and-
rather
there's
not
one
focus
for
on
left
the
and
Saturn
one
version of
for
Sonic
right.
Jam. Instead,
Oh, this
let's
is
talk
gonna be
about the
confusing.
other Sonic Jam. So, the Gamecom was a fifth-generation handheld device released by Tiger Electronics in
This is so
1997. It displays only
confusing.
black and white, is extremely bulky and slow, but it did have a touchscreen. Somehow, they were able to sign a deal with Sega to release a version of Sonic Jam for their system, and this was the result. How does it compare to the Saturn version? Well, the Gamecom wasn't exactly as powerful as the Saturn, or even the Genesis. This was really just a flawed concept from the start. For some reason, Sonic 1 just isn't here, but Sonic 2, 3, and Knuckles are. Well, okay, not really. Sure, there are short, truncated versions of each game where you only play through a few levels, and those levels don't really resemble anything from the originals outside of visuals and enemies. But, hey, you can play as all 3 characters. You can even find a special stage based off of Sonic 3's blue spheres. But since this is in black and white, you're tasked with finding black spheres.
It's hard to find the right
This was
angle.
advertised as a collection of levels from Sonic's past hits and not full games. It really is just a few levels. You can play through the entire game in under an hour. This is nothing like the Saturn version. It's not a collection of Sonic games. However, the main menu does say game selection, and Sonic 2 is represented here, so it counts. Honestly, it's strange this was even called Sonic Jam. Not only because the box art uses Sonic art artwork for some reason, but truthfully, yeah, it's just a few levels from each game put together. I can't believe this is official. It reminds me way too much of those pirated Game Boy Sonic games. Apart from in-game assets and art, this is nothing like the Sonic Jam most people know of. Though, believe it or not, even this bizarre release has some
What?
interesting unused content.
Oh, my phone is at 1%. Why did I not charge my phone? Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna have to end it here. So...